All right, greetings once again, fellow traders. This is Michael Storm, also known as Robin Hood, and today I'd like to go over a couple of charts with you. It's been a while, actually, since my last video. I think possibly a month, and sorry about that, but, I'm just kind of busy. And I wouldn't even have thought about it, but, I guess shout out to, what's his name? I think it's King Shivers, I believe, who said, "Give us an update. We miss you." Well, I think he's speaking for himself, but nobody else misses me. But maybe one or two of you do. I don't know. So anyway, I hope you're doing good. I hope you had a good Monday. It has been one hell of a really, really slow month. A really slow year. I don't know if you've noticed it. Don't worry. We're gonna get to the recording, but it hasn't been the best year, has it? I started this year and I thought, wow, we're going to have volatility. Volatility is going to rock and roll, and we are going to just rule the markets. And lo and behold, everything just kind of went up poop. I got to tell you, it hasn't been the greatest, and I've noticed many days are pretty beat. Many days the Forex market is just blah, and I often want to reconsider my life choices. Like, why am I even trading? Because I mean, it's getting a little bit hard to make money here. I have not been making 1%, a day. That my goal is pretty good. I think my goal is 100% every 3 months. And if it's going to take me 4 or 5, I don't want to kill myself or anything like that. But when you're going below 1% and you're staying there day after day, and there's a few reasons for that, but it isn't much fun. So I don't know about you. I hope you've been having a good month, but so far this year's kind of been blah, and I did give up quite a bit of my gains I actually had for the year. I started off pretty great, but in the last month things just went a little bit blah. And I did take some stop outs, and I did give up a substantial amount of my gains. But I'm still positive for the year, but it isn't a whole lot of fun. And then I had to draw back a little bit and just trade very small, and that's keeping me significantly under 1%. So anyway, you don't want to hear that. Let's get on to the stuff that matters. And today we'll start off with this one. Okay, this is the Dixie. Now, I don't know about you, but if you're not watching the Dixie, I think you're making a big mistake. This is one of my big charts that I put up actually all the time on one of my monitors. It's up constantly, and I'll watch it on the 15-minute and the hourly, pretty much. But I gauge this thing twice a day. First thing in the morning, for last thing before I go to bed. I want to make sure I'm gauging where we are. Now, me and my whole trade room, we're looking at this. Actually way back here on this day and the day that followed. I hope you can see my cursor. These big red days right here. And we were substantially thinking long US dollar on this collapse. And, I got long US dollar via a whole bunch of things, right? And I stayed that way for a while. And here we have last week. Okay, this is Monday. All right, but this is last week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Boom, finally up, finally started to take off. And it pulled into our target zone. We were looking for this thing long, dollar long, and you can see the stochastics were buried. But now, here you are, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days later. Okay, 2 weeks have passed, and look where the stochastics are now. My God, they're really high. So I'm not feeling the bull right now. I mean, I'm a bit of a contrarian myself, and I was really feeling bullish down here. But now that we're up here, I'm not feeling bullish at all. So I'm looking at the chart, and I'm thinking to myself, wow, this is a heck of a pop right here for 2 weeks. And, we're facing a 55 period. Let me just go ahead and get rid of that. So we're facing a 55 period MA, right? Oh my gosh, I can't delete my own line. There we go. So we're facing this 55 period, and we're facing maybe a little bit higher up. You never know. We might make it a little bit more, and we've got a daily top over here. We have a daily top over there. And we have a gap fill over here as well, right near the 886 fib. And I'm just not feeling the love right now. I don't know exactly where it's going to stop, but I feel like if not, today or tomorrow, and it's probably the next day. It just feels like dollar's a little overbought to me, and I am currently thinking south. All right, I'm looking for a pullback on the 4-hour chart to come down for at least 1 or 2 days and come down here. We had a really good triangle. I liked that triangle the other day, and I was chatting with my trade room, and we were still very bullish and thinking that we would break out beyond the triangle top. So if you look at this as like a flagpole, right? Let's say this is the pole here, and this is your pennant or flag or whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter. This is the next run, right? And already you're in the land of potential 4-hour sells. So it does look a little heavy to me. I won't trade this because it eats up too much margin, but I'll take it against other things. So let's go ahead and look at some other things. How's that? One of the things that has my attention right now is the U.S.-Japan. And it was about 2 weeks ago, we were looking at U.S.-Japan in the trade room, and we were all thinking long. And that actually, I had chatted with my roomies about this, and I said, it's a long, but it's a complicated long, and it's going to take time. I said it's really going to be a kind of a pain in the butt. And, that first attack over here where we broke down, let me see if I can expand this a little bit so you see it better. I had drawn this in, to my roomies, and I said, the first attack up here where it tried so hard to hold as support there, and again there, even on that day, right? It tried, right? But this was 10 days worth of sideways crap, let's face it. And then you got a breakdown, and then you got another breakdown bar. So, once this thing gave up the ghost, I was chatting with everybody and saying, I really feel like when it comes up here, it's going first attack, it's gonna stall. It's gonna stall, and it's gonna want to come back to a support area, and we see that on this daily candle where it did stall out and it did pull back. And then we thought, another push would happen, and that it would most likely stall inside of, this consolidation area right here. And again, we were right. It went up, it hit that, and bam, the market came right down. Now, here's an interesting thing. I don't know if you noticed this or not, but if you draw this line right here, we actually busted that by about 2.9 pips or 3 pips, depending on how you're going to look at it. So, just because something goes up and it gives you a violent pullback and it breaks the low by 3 pips, it doesn't mean, all of a sudden all hell breaks loose and you should get out. That's not the way it is. And so it just really looked long. And hold on one second. All right, I'm sorry about that. I had to take a quick break there to inhale some dinner, so I kind of forget where I left off. I think I was over here somewhere. I believe we were chatting about a 3 pip drop underneath that low. So the way I'm looking at, U.S. Japan, in my eyes, I mean, this is like a push 1 and a pullback and a push 2 and a really great pullback and double bottom. And then I look at this like a push 3, and this right here is like a push number 4. Okay, and I know it's looking really bullish and all that stuff. Yeah, okay, I get it. But you're really up into a lot of resistance, and yeah, it's breaking it a tiny bit. I get you. And you know what? I'm thinking that right now, it kind of looks like it wants to break here. 108.80. And if it does that, by the way, I'm short, and I'm only short a little tiny bit, so it's not much, but I am short. And if it comes up a little bit more, I've got some other areas that I would think about shorting. A break of 108.80 is kind of cool. I know there's a lot of there's a lot of orders at 109, and this over here, I mean, it used to be support, right? And this here and this here. didn't it? I mean, I sure think so. When I look at 109.01 and I look over here at 109.15, sure looks like it was support to me. I mean, it went up. So it tried to be supportive right there at 109.15, and hey, prices went up. Okay, but then you have this tragic bar right there. So my thoughts are, that the market might try and press 109 to 109.15. Now, let me ask you a question. Does anybody know for sure, like, those of you that say that you're a trading god, do you know for sure what number you're going to hit, which number you're going to hold, and hold at, shall I say, and which number is going to be the reversal number? I mean, if you know that, I just say that you're full of you're full of malarkey. Whoops. And I don't believe you. Okay. So I'm sorry that I don't, but I don't. So I just don't know which number is going to hit. Now, how would I know whether we're going to hit 109.01 or 109.15 or hey, maybe we even go up and hit 109.21. I don't have a clue. The reality is I don't know. And where do I get that from? Well, I get it from the late, great Mark Douglas, who said, we don't know anything for sure, and we don't have to in order to make money. We just have to have a plan. So I have a plan, and my plan is that I've shorted a couple of small pieces, and I'm kind of desirous to see if I can get some more. Maybe I can. Maybe I'll get lucky. Everybody wants to get lucky, right? I mean, maybe you can get 109.02, or maybe you can get 109.15. But isn't the thing supposed to be that support, once broken, becomes resistive? So my thoughts are this is a bit resistive up here. Maybe not a ton, but enough for me. So I'm kind of interested. I'm thinking about putting another few extra little short orders up here. And my thoughts are that, either where I've shorted now is going to just drop, boom, straight down here, about 50 pips, right, to the investor trend. Or perhaps we're going to go up here first, and then we're going to turn around and drop, I don't know, maybe 90 pips. So that's my thought. Okay, so first chart we looked at, just refresh your memory, I'm thinking short on the dollar. And I'm currently working US-Japan short a little bit. And then I look over here at the euro. And to me, this seems to be the exact opposite of the US dollar index. I mean, euro's 52% dollar index, right? Or shall I say dollar index is 52% euro. So look at where we're trading, right? We were way high, and we had broken a bunch of resistance here and here. And that resistance, when it was broken, became what? Well, as far as I can see, it became supportive, for 1, 2, 3, 4 days. Can you see that clearly? Let's zoom in a little bit more. Hi, hello. I'm resistive. Oh, me too. Oh, me 3. Slam. Down you go. Prices burst through this, right? And I mean, look, didn't that become supportive right there, and there, oh, and there? So 4 times. Yeah, I guess it did. Resistance once broken will tend to become supportive until you break out your skill saw, and then you drill through your 3rd story floor and, come and drop a ball down into the 2nd story, right? And then you're going to drill through your 1st story and drop a ball down into your basement. Well, it doesn't usually bounce up and hit the same spot, right? So if I'm looking at this, as I'm sure you are, because, I mean, you're a trader, right? So you're also looking at the euro. So you're thinking, wow, that is a super cool 886 fib, right? And this is the original daily buy. So what happened in this original daily buy? Well, you had a monster 4-hour buy that had follow through to the upside for days on end as we went higher. So we've retraced all the way back into this, and wow, those stochastics are buried. Now, every once in a while you run across a fool. And a fool will tell you, oh, don't use moving averages. They don't work. Really. And a fool will also say to you, don't use stochastics. They don't work. Well, what the hell? I guess we might as well say, hey, don't use candlesticks. That crap just don't work. God, don't use support and resistance. That crap don't work. I mean, how foolish can you get, okay? When I couple things together, by the way, hold on. Don't use fibs. That stuff just don't work. Okay. Well, when I'm trying to find a trade, I'm trying to find a little score checking system, right? And I say, wow, 886 fib, check mark. Stochastics absolutely buried. Woohoo, check mark, right? And then I look over here and I say, wow, there's the original daily buy. There's some demand down here. Check mark. Right? And then I look at stuff like, a whole number. Okay, there's 112. Wow, check mark. So, that I don't know about you, but I mean that stuff right there, it turns me on. Why? I don't know. I guess I'm crazy. Just a trader. So I like stuff breaking down, and I like to buy stuff that has fallen. I mean, doesn't this look like a really nice fall? Now, how high can it go? Oh, I don't know. I don't really care. But I look back here and I see 4-hour buys. And I see a couple of them. And it worked. I mean, there was follow through, right? So I see this incredible retracement that we have right now. And I'm like, wow, that's kind of nice. 200 pips south, really far from the moving averages, all these nice pushes. I just kind of think I want to be long. Now, I might be wrong, guys, because nobody's a trading god. There's some breaking news for you, and, I might be wrong. And, hey, 111.81, man, this thing might just tank, right? It might just tank, drop straight through 111.81, and, slice through that number right there. And even if we do that, I'm just going to look at it like, hey, I didn't know. I didn't know. Is 20 pips going to kill me? If 20 pips kills you, there's something wrong. The way you're trading is something completely screwed up there. But 20 pips ain't going to bother me. I might be, I might be long a tiny bit of euro, right? And we just looked at the Dixie. Yeah. I mean, you remember it, right? You remember looking at the Dixie and we're still thinking, hey, we could come all the way up here. Well, what do you think that's going to do to the euro? What is it going to do to the euro? It's going to push it straight down here and knock out that number. So if that happens, I'm going to go long some more. Okay, I'm going to be 20 pips in the hole or so, and I'm going to add to a losing position. Oh my goodness. Oh my. How not to trade. How not to trade 101. You're damn right. I'm going to add to a losing position. Okay. So if we come down here and nail this number, I'm adding to a losing position. And then I'm going to look for a bounce. And I'm going to look for this bounce to come up here. How high? I don't know. How about 80 pips for starters? That would be great. So I'm kind of praying for this. I would really like that to fall so that I could buy more, so that I can try and take an 80 pip gain to the upside. But, if it screws me over and it doesn't want to drop and it just wants to bounce now and all I'm going to get is 48 pips or something like that, well, so be it. Not everything works. So we'll just have to see. All right, so moving along, because I know not everybody likes the Dixie and not everybody likes the US-Japan and not everybody likes euro, right? Well, okay, how about the euro-yen? What do you see there? Well, I see 3-4 days worth of complete pure garbage, and I see these stochastics are buried, and I see it's a complicated long. It seems difficult. I chatted with my roomies about this the other day. By the way, I don't think I talked about this one on Twitter, no. But I did talk about the odd on Twitter, and I don't know, if you follow me on Twitter, you already made money, so great. If you don't follow me on Twitter, it's, gosh, what is my handle? Twitter. Forex Assassins, I believe. So we looked at this the other day in our trade room, and we were thinking, wow, it might pop about 20 pips, and then we were thinking maybe even 30. And then we were looking at this area over here and thinking, who knows, maybe even 50. But you know what? It didn't happen. I mean, it popped 20 and then it gave up the ghost. And it dropped right through this. And I know that it's made a pseudo daily sell when it dropped underneath that low right there. Okay, it stopped some people out in the world. I know that's hard to believe, but it did. Okay, all it took was that little move right there, and it stopped somebody out with a 41 pip loss, and they tried to buy the breakout, and they got cremated. I don't like being a breakout trader, and ever since then, it's just been up and away. So it's, dropped 41, it's up 47. And it still looks like this is going to go a little bit higher, but, I currently see this over here. It just used to be so supportive, and it tried, 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and then it gave up the ghost. And we're talking about the 1 hour 200, right? So if this lifts, I don't even know if it can, but if it can, personally, it just seems to me not worthy to get involved right now, because it seems like a 15 pip trade, or I don't know, maybe 18 pips higher, and then it's just going to be met with resistance, and it's probably going to drop. So I'm not interested in that one myself. This one over here kind of blew my mind. The euro pound has been up now for what are we on? Three months, and weekly, just to the moon, Alice, right? It just keeps going, and it doesn't want to roll over. It doesn't want to die, and every time it even tries, it just can't make it. You can see a lot of wicks up here, and they all look great and everything. There's a lot of wicks to the upside, so somebody is obviously trying to sell the tops short, and they're trying very hard to hold it down. And occasionally you'll find some good 4-hour sells that have decent follow-through, but not every one of them. Some of these 4-hour sells have no follow-through at all, right? And some of them will have, maybe a small amount of follow-through, but it takes 8 hours more or longer. Okay, so even though we're in the land of 4-hour sells, and you look at these wicks and you're thinking, it looks pretty good. We've got a lot of supply, right over here, and you're thinking it's going to fall. I just don't know. I just don't know right now. It seems like stops are building here in a major league way, and it doesn't seem like it would take all that much to push them. Anything above 40 or 50 pips higher, it seems to me we're going to run stops like crazy and then be met with even more resistance the higher up that we go. So I don't know. I don't flip over the trade. Euro pound just looks like poop to me, and I'm not into it. I'm just not into it. Personally don't like it. So in our trade room for the past year, about 1 year, we have been purchasers of Euro Canada on both the daily, everything taken together, monthly, weekly, daily, etc. We've done very good being long all the way up until now. Okay, so the other day in our trade room, we were looking at this, and it shot up like a bat out of hell. And I'm thinking on the retracement, wow, I'm thinking, boy, it's going to go back to a 786, 886 fib retracement, and then it's going to shoot long again. And I'm thinking, oh, we're going to rock and roll, we're going to go way up here, and you know what? It turns out that is completely wrong. And so the market has died. We have 10 days straight down. So what goes down, 8, 9, 10, I don't know, 11, 12 days in a row? What goes down that far, okay, and never has a retracement, never has a pop, right? Nothing. Is that normal? Is it normal for that to happen? In my humble opinion, no. Take a look at the fall. All right, it's already gone down like mad, 415 pips. So I have a couple of longs left high and dry, I might add, very, very much out of the money. Okay, just a few, not much. And I'm sitting here looking at this, and I'm like, wow, this is a big drop. And then I draw my fib in. I start to think about it when especially if I go over and I look at the 4 hour. Once this happens, if you know the Guppy MMA system, once this happens, it doesn't last forever, okay? Nothing lasts forever. All things are meant to eventually reverse. And you can already see the compression forming, and you can see this, and it just seems like, to me, maybe I'm wrong, but it seems to me like we're going to do a good pop. How much? I don't know, maybe 50 pips. Hey, maybe 80 or 90. I don't know. It just seems like a long right here for a good move. And then my best guess is the first attack of this investor trend is going to be met with a terrible resistance, and it's going to drop like a stone. So how high? I don't know. 50, 60, 80, boom, straight down it goes. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm currently long. I'm looking for a shove up, and then after that, I think we're going to fall again. And so what I'm looking for is kind of like a wave 1 and then a wave 2, the retracement wave 2. And then I'm anticipating a coming wave 3, which will take us up for a bunch of days. Why do I think that way? Well, we're down 10 days in a row. And look at the stochastics. They're buried, and they're crossed over, and they're pointed up. Okay, so where will this be, 8, 9, 10, 12 days from now? I don't know. I have no idea. But my best guess is the stochastics about 10 days from now are going to be way up here. And how high will price be? Oh, I don't know. No idea. Sorry. But the best I can tell is we're going to come up here and kiss one of these broken trend lines, or maybe this resistance over here. So I'm thinking, and this is just me, but I'm thinking maybe, 175 pips higher from where price currently is, right? Where we are right now. So I kind of like it long. And you know what? I'm not trying to sell you anything because I really don't have anything to sell you. All right. If you trade it, it's your trade, not mine. A bunch of days ago, we were looking short. This is when the stochastics were way up high and prices were way up high. Me and all of my roomies in my trade room were looking short, and we took it down. It got slammed about 187 pips south. And then after that, okay, so after that really nice fall, we hit those cursed moving averages again. The ones you're not supposed to use. And then if you look at the 4 hour chart, you came back to, oh my God, those cursed moving averages again. The ones you're not supposed to use, right? The 100 and the 200. And, we fell really nice. And after that, we came up, my God, to those cursed fibs that you're not supposed to. Jeez, what the hell is this doing in here? God, I'm training you guys the wrong way to trade. Holy mackerel. Oh, man, I'm so evil. Yeah, don't ever use these, for the love of God, don't do anything stupid. Excuse me. Let me just go. Oops. Darn, that isn't going to help. Yeah, don't do anything stupid, like put a 786 fib on your fibs, or don't do anything crazy, right? Like put an 886 fib retracement on your fibs. That would just be ludicrous, right? Okay, so after that, we went up here. We all got short again, and the thing crashed and burned. How hard did it burn? Well, pretty hard. It's actually, my God, 500 pips. Wow. So it royally crashed 500, and you can see God, there's those, darn it, those moving averages, yeah, you're not supposed to use those things. But anyway, so the price action moved 500 pips, which, by the way, as I am sure you already know, is 2 whole market quarters. And we got long in our trade room right down here, and prices went up, right? So doesn't that look kind of good? I don't know about you, but I think it looks good. We hit into the 786 fib, we hit into the the 100 period moving average, and oh my God, this antiquated thing over here. Oh wow, the SHI channel true, which nobody's supposed to use that, right? And oh, stochastics, man. Listen, guys, you know, I'm a sarcastic son of a bitch, okay? I am a sarcastic son of a bitch. I'm teaching you the wrong way to trade. So listen, you don't want to lose money, right? You know, so shit, man, don't pay no attention to this stuff right here, because, you know, I'm just teaching you how to lose money right now. Wow, that guy. Darn, look at that stuff. Ooh, the evil fib confluences that you're not supposed to use. Holy crap. I'm one bastard, man. But anyway, so I hope you understand what I just did right there. Because if you don't get it, guys, I'm giving you freaking gold, okay? I'm giving you freaking gold. Use these fibs. Use these moving averages, okay? Pay attention to price, all right? Pay attention to what's going on in the market. Just, you know, I'm telling you, we shorted it up here. I'm telling you, we shorted it here. But a whole bunch of roomies going to be watching this video. You think I'm going to lie to you? I'm going to lie to all my roomies that trade with me? Those guys would know I'm full of poop. They would smell a rat, and they'd have a mass exodus, okay? I ain't sitting here lying to anybody. We were long right here because of that. Now, it went up like mad. Now, take a look at the 4-hour. What do you think of this? What do you see? You know what I see? I see what kind of looks a little bit left shoulder, right? It looks a little bit head, and it looks a little bit right shoulder to me. Sort of, you know, nothing's perfect, right? And this kind of, sort of, looks like a neckline. Just depends how you want to draw the thing in there. But you know what I'm seeing? I'm seeing like push number 1. I'm seeing push number 2. I'm seeing a really nice 4-hour buy over here. Crap, I'm seeing some compression on the Guppy MMA system, and you know, to me, boy, I gotta say, it kind of seems like the market wants to go up. You know, that's just me. Maybe I'm wrong. You know, maybe I'm incorrect here. But when I look at it, I'm like, wow, 500 pips fall, and I'm going to go ahead and draw one of those cursed fibs, right? And we got a 382 fib hit. Doesn't it seem like the market could do another wave up and maybe come up here towards this 50%? I mean, I know the 50% is not a fib, and so do you, because you're not stupid. But it's a GAN area. It's not a fib. But isn't every fib trader in the world looking for this one of these days? When? I don't know when, but aren't they looking for it? Okay, every fib trader in the world is looking for this thing to come back up to the 618 fib. Well, how high is that? I mean, my God, it's 172 pips higher. Well, okay, so everybody's looking for that. Well, how high is it to get to the GAN area? Well, that's 115. Okay, so what's wrong with looking at this trade and saying, gee, it looks like it might actually have room. Maybe it'll go all the way up 115 pips, and who knows? Maybe it'll go all the way up 175. Do I know? No, I don't. But I don't have to know in order to make money. I just have to have a plan. Wow. God, Mark Douglas was right. Okay, so then we go over and we look at Euro odd. What does that look like to you? I mean, doesn't it kind of look like a really great pullback? I don't know. I mean, to me, it sure does look pretty good. I mean, I'm looking at that channel. I'm looking at 400 pips. I'm looking at 100 MA. I'm looking at buried stochastics crossed over and pointed north. I'm kind of seeing an area over here that looks pretty supportive that just got busted a little bit, and so obviously, somebody has been stopped out, right? And they threw in the towel. They capitulated. They gave up. How high can this thing go? I don't know. But, I see one push to the moving averages, the investor trend. It's already been rejected. I'm seeing a second mild push. It seems like it's kind of being rejected right now. But from where prices are right now to get a really substantial push, I mean, how high are we talking here? I mean, what are we looking at? Maybe 50 to 60? Is that possible? Is it possible? I mean, come on. Is it possible that we go up 50 to 60 pips higher? Well, sure it is. I mean, of course it's possible. I don't really know, but it sure seems like it could. So, to me, it kind of seems like a buy, and like it wants to come up this way, 50 or 60 pips. Now, my best guess is you're going to be facing all of this right here. Hi, hello, hey, I used to be support. Hi there. Hi. I used to be support. Hey, me too. Me three. I used to be supportive. Oh yeah, rock and roll, baby. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. 6 times. It all tried, didn't it? But you know what? It didn't work. So I'm thinking 50, 60 pips higher, you're just going to get slammed right back down. So I'm kind of liking it like a long right now. And most likely, after that push, it's probably going to fall. That's the way I feel about it. How do you feel about it? Yep. I guess that's really what it comes down to, isn't it? How do you feel about it? And some people can see trades, and some people can't see trades, just simply because they've either looked for a long time and they understand price action, or perhaps they haven't. I don't know. All right. So anyway, some of you guys know that I was long some pound quite a while back, and we have gotten a few occasional thrusts up, but you know what? It really hasn't been that great. There's maybe 100 to 140 pip run right there. This one here was about 200, and this one over here was, I think, about 276. No, I got that wrong. 200 and 275. So occasionally pound will get these bounces, but they're very short-lived. And right now we have one heck of a fall. This is approximately, I think, about 300 and about 300. The stochastics are completely buried. We're kind of bottoming out a little bit, but I don't have a daily buy. I don't really have anything to go off of. I got diddly squat, really. Got nothing. It just looks like a long to me, but I also see that I don't have anything either. There's really not anything to go off of. And then when I look over here, pound yen, I just don't see much. It seems like we're trying to make a possible double bottom of a sorts, but it's pretty pathetic. You look at the daily bars and you're like, ugh, it's pathetic. It's trying to cross up here. It's already hitting the investor trend. It's probably going to pull back. It's just not the greatest trade in the world. You get higher up towards here or up here, and you can see the resistance that's going to be met. Is it probably going to go there? Yeah, probably will. It'll probably move up 40 pips or more, but it's just going to be met with a lot of resistance. So I'm not thrilled. Not thrilled with the trade. I do see a little bit of bottoming actions that are starting to form on the pound Swissy. Now, I was long this, as you know, from my last video, which was made quite a while back. And again, we've got small pops. They're very small. So I was long, and I worked it and stuff like that. And I'm working it on much lower time frames, probably than a lot of you guys. I mean, I'm dealing with 5-minute charts, 15-minute charts, etc. I'll trade this thing throughout the day, and it hasn't been that great to me. Just like the pound Canada, I really brutally got my pound pairs incorrect right now. This thing has fallen 1,000 pips. I did not buy up here. Okay, we were short up here, but I did not hold on that far. So yeah, it's 1,000 pips down, and the same thing with pound Canada. I think it's 1,300 pip fall. It seems like potentially we might be getting a bottom here. I see kind of a double bottom. I see a daily buy. I see another small pathetic daily buy. It seems like the 4 hours doing a bit of a crossover, and it does look higher to me. But even still, I told all my roomies this morning, when we were having a nice friendly chat about this, because we do this every day. in-depth, like 1 hour, hour and a half longer, and then throughout the day, all day long as we're trading. It just seems to me like gang members are hiding, okay, that they're out there in the woodworks waiting to come along and to slap the living crap out of somebody that dares to cross their turf. So, you know, if the if the pound Swiss can make it higher, you know, you really have to look at every spot. I mean, this spot used to be supportive and it became resistive, and if the pound Swissy makes it higher up here, or if it makes it up here, or even if it makes it up here, doesn't it just seem like there's going to be a lot of gang members that just want to come out and beat the living crap out of this thing? I mean, they're going to put on the brass knuckles, the knives, the baseball bats, the chains, and you name it. Somebody's going to get a butt whooping. That's what it seems to me. So I'm definitely thinking long, all right, but of course without, not without fear, not without fear and consternation that just around any corner, the gang members are going to jump me. So it's kind of scary, but it does look like a better long now than it did last week. Another one too is Pound Canada. Now, guys, this one fell 1,400. Holy crud! Jeez, that's unbelievable. 1,400 pips. I mean, look at the 4-hour buy action. Look at the compression. Look at, it just, to me, it just seems long. Now, I could be completely and totally wrong. Okay, maybe I am. Maybe this broken support here on the weekly chart was just too much, and maybe it's all over. But my God, it sure is buried, and that is a lot of time down. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 weeks. What goes 10 weeks and just never retraces? I mean, geez, 10 stinking weeks. Oh my Lord. Yeah, it's just too much, and I really can't believe in it. I just can't believe in this as a short right now. I just can't. I'm looking at the possibility of a daily buy and a 4-hour move up, and it just looks like it's going to rock and roll up here about 100 pips and come into this investor trend. All right, I guess I'm going out a little bit long. How much time do I have left? I'm at 42 and a half minutes. Okay, so your time is precious to you, and I don't want to waste your time, and I hope you're enjoying the video, because you know what? I'm doing this for free. I mean, it's not like I'm trying to make money off of you. I'm not. I'm not trying to sell you, I'm not trying to gain followers, I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just trying to be a help, just trying to be a blessing, and if I'm not a blessing, well, I'm really sorry. I'm trying to. So I have no ulterior motive other than to just help out, and if I help, that's great. If I don't, I'm really sorry. So I'm looking at this pound New Zealand. I also think it's just too stinking far. I can't help it. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the one with the issues. Maybe I'm the one with the problems. I guess some people like to tell me that. But personally, after 1,300 oh God, where are we? 1,306 pip fall. I can't help it. I just thinking long. I'm thinking long. It's a big issue right now. I realize. I look at the pound across the board and I think to myself, my goodness, what the heck has happened here? It's been about 2.5 years since the whole Brexit mess fiasco thing has kicked into place. And it just seems so overdone. And what has pound lost? I don't know, 20% across the board? More, maybe. This is just crazy. It's just so ridiculous and overdone. I have trouble, seeing how we can just keep dropping. Just have trouble with it myself. It's very difficult. All right, so here's another one. We're looking at the U.S. Canada. And you can see it's been a pretty interesting move. I remember the last time I called it short was over here, and we were looking for a 500 pip drop. Actually did that, and then we all went long and took it up. We went long here, I think there was a couple of other times that we were lightly short, probably in some of these highs over here. And I remember being long here. I do remember this. We had a pretty good 200 pip run, but now things have just, wow. I mean, whew, baby, it has really fallen out of bed. And I'm looking at it, and I'm trying to figure out where the Bank of Canada's pain threshold is. You know, I don't know. I don't know where it is, but my best guess, thinking, is probably 129, 128. I bet they're going to be squirming pretty bad. You know, if their strength kicks off like crazy, and we start to drop into 128s or 129, I'm just going to imagine they ain't going to be too happy. You know, that's just me. I'm trying to think like them, okay? And I can imagine I'd be pretty damn upset. But then I look over here, and I look at all these problems, right? Look with me here. You see how this used to be supportive, and then how it became resistance on that day, and that day, and that day, and that day, right? So you've got all these lines here. Now, I don't get this very often, but every once in a while, there will be some currency that will come along and will perform something, you know, just like this. And as my memory serves me right, I've seen this a bunch of times. And I remember looking at it in times past and saying, how? How are we going to go through that? And then I remember multiple times in my past where I have seen days later, weeks later, that we burst right through it like butter. Jeez, I am so sorry. My phone is going off like mad. People are texting the living tar out of me right now. Jeez, popular guy, but I don't want to be. Somebody has money for me. That's nice. And my daughter wants to watch a movie. Okay, fun. So I remember that... you know, when I've seen this in times past, and I'm thinking, no way. I mean, how can it just go up? How can it go through that? You know, this just is not going to happen. Every time I've ever said that to myself, days later, it just seems like kaboom! Like we're through it all, like butter, like it wasn't even there. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen this time because, I mean, heck, my eyeballs still see it. I'm like, guys, I don't know what to say. I'm looking at it and I'm just thinking, no way. How is it going to go through this? How? How is it going to go up here and hit 132? You know, how are we going to go through 132? I'm having a lot of trouble seeing it, okay? And I'm long, all right? I'm long. But I'm still having trouble seeing how it's going to go through here. I don't know. Maybe I'll be corrected because the way it looks like it's double bottoming out right now, like it's getting ready to go. Well, whatever. I'm probably overloading you. I don't mean to do that. I hope that perhaps in this video you can find a couple of trades that you might like. You know, just remember what we talked about on the Dixie and the U.S.-Japan. You know, some of the other pairs, I probably don't have time to go over all of these, but you know, I'll do the best I can. I got about 12 minutes left. So, multiple days ago, me and my entire trade room, we were looking at this thing as a long. Yep, I'm sorry. But when we broke that low right over here, we had just got hot for it. I was just like, my God, I want to buy it. So we all bought it, and kapow. It has come up, you know, 250 pips. And you know what? I used to love her. But it's over now. Okay? I just don't feel the same way. All right? I was long down here, and I feel like I got what I wanted, you know, and it's up, and away, and we're hitting the 786 fib, and the moving averages, right? And then you got push 1 right here, and you got retracement wave 2, and then you got push number 3, kapowie, and it's done in like an A, B, C, D fashion. It just seems like too much to me. You know, I look at it, and I'm like, this is crazy. We're up too high. So I don't feel the love. Now, I don't know. I mean, maybe Swissy can just keep going. Maybe maybe the dollar index will just keep going, right? And maybe it'll push Swissy all the way up to 32 pips, right? Just like it'll push the euro down to 111.81 or 111.79, right? We're going to have Swissy come all the way up here. Well, what's facing it? Right there. What is that? I mean, what the heck am I looking at over there? Jeez. Hold on a minute. Let me break out my Forex textbook once again and try and remember what this is. Jeez. You know, I don't know. I'm having a little trouble right now. But whatever. I mean, it just looks to me like that's an 886 fib. Dear God. I've cursed you again. I'm so sorry. See, some of the fools that have commented in times past will say, I'm teaching you how to lose money, and I'm going to take your money every time. Well, go ahead. Take our money. Take it. You get long. Good luck, Jack. You get long. This is a great buy now, boy. I'll tell you what, it sure has proven itself now. Holy crap. It's up. Wait a minute. Forgive me. I'm sorry, but I'm kind of having fun right now. It's up 250 pips. What a long. Go ahead and buy it and see if you can get your next 35, okay? Guys, if it comes up to this 886 fib and it comes up here and hits this 200 moving average that you're not supposed to use, oh my goodness. I just taught you how to lose money. Jeez. So horrible I am. I apologize. I'm just such a filthy, rotten dog. Anyway, so let's say that it does that, all right? You still going to feel bullish about it? I mean, really? Are you still going to feel bullish about it if it comes up 35 more pips, you know, and hits up here? Wow. Take my money, please. Take it. Go for it. So, anyway, the other day, well, actually, way down here, we were long, and we took this sucker up like mad. I gotta tell you, I didn't take it all the way up here. I was not in it for 10 days. I probably got out after 5 or 6 days. When it approached this high, I was gone. Jeez, free magic fairy pixie dust for all. And then I started looking at it as a short, right? And so we shorted it. And then on Twitter, you know, I announced it right here on Twitter, and I said, hey, bud, you, come here. Go ahead and buy those tops, right? And, you know, some fool probably did. I feel bad for them. But, you know, we hit our target, and we got short. And we hit our target area, we brushed into it, and, you know, it just felt like a really great short up here, and I enjoyed it. Oh, what was the other one? Yeah, Australia dollar. Shorted that too. Got to our target. Now, I gotta tell you, you know, it kind of feels like a long to me. I look at the stochastics and I'm like, you know, they're not buried yet. They're not all the way down. Probably needs another 2 days. Doesn't it look like it needs 2 more days? Because it's not there. Okay, and then I look at the cursed moving averages that I'm not supposed to use again, right, on the daily chart. You know, I see those moving averages right there, and I'm like, wow, that's kind of neat right there. I'd love it if I dropped into that low. And then I look here, and I'm thinking about the land of stop losses, and I'm thinking about the support and all that stuff. And, you know, I draw my fibs that I shouldn't use. Oh, God. And I just look at the whole thing, and I'm thinking, come kiss me right here. Come kiss this 50%. Let me see if I can buy that, because those stochastics would be buried. And I'd probably be willing to buy it off of this level and see if we can get a decent pop. Probably not a big deal. You know, what are we looking at? 30 pip bounce after coming all the way down here. So right now, does it look like a short for a 30 pip fall? Maybe, but I was already short up here, and I'm already out. So I'd rather take 90 than try and take the last 30. But if we can fall here, you know, I'm kind of feeling long. What else? Is there anything else that really looks good? I don't have much time left. 6 minutes left in this video. I'd prefer not to go over an hour, so looks like I didn't make it very far. We were short, now we're not. Now we're nothing. nothing. You know, I don't really see a ton here. We were long on NOK, but it hit our target. SEK, you know, I gotta say I kind of feel like a short on this. Take a look at the fib confluence. I don't know if you can see that in here. We've got two fibs from two different places, right? And we're up against a moving average. I mean, look at the stochastics. They're absolutely peaked. And it, you know, just looks like a wave 1 right here and a wave 2 right here. And this looks like a wave 3 to me. And it's you know, it's coming up really hard. And it's just kissing into a confluence area. And I know it's not quite there yet. You know, I get it. It could go a little bit more. But this is my thought, that this supply right here, where I'm hovering my cursor, I think it might be able to do this. I don't know. I've put a short order, like right there. Let me just check and see if I'm... No, I don't have any short right now. But I've got a short order up here, and I'm thinking, you know, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. I don't really care. But if this comes up this high and fills into this area, I want it short. And I'll be looking for a good pullback down to support, probably about 800 pip fall over time. Let's see. I don't know. Is there anything else? I guess not. I'm still long a little bit of ZAR. This thing squeezed me a tad. Just a little bit. I worked ZAR long, it came up, and it fell again. I got long again, and I out most of it, but I'm still in buy mode. I think ZAR is going to go higher, but gosh, I'm at 57 minutes. I should probably quit. All right, so anyway, I hope there's a few things in here. If you're one of those people that just like skips along in a video, you know, just skip, and you don't really watch the whole thing. Hey, let me encourage you, you know, don't do that, because you might not realize I've actually thrown out some gold nuggets in here. There's a little bit of teaching, a little bit of sarcasm, a little bit of laughing, crying. There's all kinds of stuff. There's a little bit for everybody. So, you know, you might enjoy watching the whole thing rather than just being so fast and just wanting to skip along. As my mother would say to me, cool your jets. What are you in such a hurry for? Cool your jets. You just might learn something, okay? Even if you don't like me, you know, or whatever, if you think I'm a butthead or something, you know, you can even learn from a butthead. I'm going to guess that you could. I'm going to guess you could learn from a guy who's a sarcastic butthead, okay? So I wish y'all a great week, and good luck trading this week, traders, and be careful. And remember this saying, a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. When you got a profit, why don't you reach out and scratch that itch, take half off. See if you can get the other half to go to your target, but a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. You sit there and hold on and pray for home runs. You might find out that before your home run, you know, pardon me. My point is, you might find out that your home run, before you ever make it, you know, you're trying to steal for third and fourth, right? And you end up just getting taken out. You know, why do that? I mean, if you can hit singles or doubles, why not go for that than always trying to hit for home runs? I mean, who are you in a race with? Who are you trying to prove yourself to? You know, I mean, you don't have to be a trading god, and you don't have to brag to the world. Oh, I made 500 pips. You know, big deal. Big deal. Okay, have a great week. Hope this was a help to you. Hey, if you like it, could you give me a thumbs up and you know, subscribe and all that stuff. And if you have any ideas of something that you want me to do, feel free to pass it along my way. Maybe I'll do it. You know, and if you got questions or something, I mean, you know, you could ask. Right? You know, I'll probably respond if you're nice. But if you just want to troll me, go pound sand. Bye for now. Have a great week. Ciao. Don't have a cow.